Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Super excited for today's video. I don't know if you've heard the song, but Scory actually just released a new music video to a song called Girls Love Rod Wave. And it's actually a pretty old song, I think, but the song goes super hard. It's a crazy banger. And since I've been loving the vibe of the song, I actually really wanted to make something similar to that one. So today I'm going to show you guys how you can make some more emotional guitar type of beats from scratch. Something like Polo G, Scory, or Lil TJ. So it's going to be super similar to the song, but I definitely want to add my own twist to it. And I'll also take you guys through the whole process so you guys can learn something from it. We're gonna do the guitar melody, the drums, and everything. So make sure to stay to the end of the video to see all the tips and tricks for the sample and some cool tricks for the drums. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's just get straight to the video. Alright, so we're here in FL and you want to start off with the electric guitar. So the guitar I'm gonna be using for this video is gonna be this Ilya FMOF electric guitar in contact. And the first thing we're pretty much gonna do is just go to the BPM and turn it up to about 170. Something in between 165 and 180 should be good. Now the scale we're gonna be working in is going to be A sharp minor. So as for the guitar pattern, it's actually super simple to make, but there is a trick to it. So if you know how to do it, it's super simple, but if you don't, it can be very hard to understand. So since the scale is A sharp minor, we are just going to start off by making an A sharp minor chord. So we put a note here, here, and here. And we actually want to think of where the first clap comes, and the clap is actually coming in right here. So therefore, we're just going to extend the notes all the way to the first clap. And then we just want to extend these notes over here. Make sure to shorten them right before the clap hits though. That's super important. So the first chord should sound like this. So it kind of stops abruptly right before the clap, but that's actually supposed to happen. So now we want to move on to the next chord, and the next chord is actually going to be very similar. We're just going to turn this down to this G sharp, and then we just want to pitch this up by 1 and put this one right above it. Again, make sure that the guitar stops right before the clap right here. Then we're just going to copy this over, but we actually want to switch it up a little bit on this part. So I'm actually just going to delete this middle note right here, and we want to pitch this up by 3 semitones. So it starts on the C sharp and this G sharp right here. And just to switch things up a little bit, we can add a note right here on this D sharp. Then last thing we're going to do is just copy this over right here. But since it's the last part, we actually want a cool transition towards the next part. So we can pretty much just extend this all the way like this. And then pretty much just add some filler notes, maybe one here and one here. So as you can see on the piano roll, the guitar pattern is actually very simple. It's almost just like 3 notes in every chord. So it might look very simple, but as I said, if you don't know how to make it, it can be pretty hard to recreate. Now the guitar actually sounds pretty catchy, but we actually want to add some effects to this because it kind of stops abruptly at some parts. So for the effects, the first thing I'm going to add to the guitar is actually this Guitar Rig 6 right here. I'm just using this vocal space preset, but one thing you want to do is actually to turn off this stereo tune right here. It's just going to make the guitar sound more realistic, and it's also going to give it this fine guitar type of texture. So just take a listen to how it sounds without the guitar rig on. And quickly right here with the guitar rig on. So you can really hear the guitar rig gives it that type of guitar texture, and it also adds some delay to the guitar so it kind of fits even though it stops abruptly right before the clap. Now let's just add some reverb. Just some RC20 as well. Just some more delay using Effect Track. Lastly, I'm just going to add some saturation using J37 and also this EQ right here just so we can shapen out the sound a bit. So you can really hear how the guitar sounds realistic now. So the guitar is pretty much perfect. Now we just need to add some vocals over the guitar just so we can fill out that more emotional type of vibe. So for the vocals, I'm just going to open up Hooked in Arcade and see if I can find a nice sounding vocal. So I'm just going to be using this Stay Strong preset right here. And the key for the vocals is to have some sort of small hits here and there. You don't really want to have long vocal phrases because that would actually take away from the guitar. We want the vocal to be a complementary type of sound to the guitar. So the guitar should be the most catchiest part of the sample, and the vocal is just there to fill it out a bit more and give it the emotional vibe like I told you guys.
Hey. Ooh, you're always on my mind. Ooh, feel alone.
I'm just going to pitch up the vocal by 1 octave so it's a bit lighter, add some reverb just to give it some more ambience, and then an EQ just to cut out the sound a bit. Yeah, this is perfect. So there we actually have the two main parts of the sample. Now we actually just want to add some complementary sounds here and there. So I'm going to start off with using a percussion loop from my one-shot kit. So I'm just going to open up my percussion loops folder right here. And I love using this Perc Loop 14 right here. So just drag that in, stretch it to time so it fits with the sample, reset the pitch, and it should pretty much be good. So it just adds a little bit of ear candy to the sample. Now let's do the same thing just with a texture. So I'm just going to drag this one in right here. So now that we have added the textures as well, I'm just going to do one last thing for the sample, and that is to add this nice reverse type of sound. So again, I'm just going to go into my one-shot kit. This time I'm just opening up some guitars. And to be fair, it actually doesn't even matter which guitar you pick. I'm just going to use this break one right here. Just drag that in and turn off loop points. Make sure to hit reverse. Yeah, so we have this nice reverse sound now. I'm just going to add some reverb to it though. It's kind of subtle, but it definitely has a difference. Let's try and pitch it up. Yeah, I like that way better. And I'm just gonna have it on this one bar actually. I think that's pretty much it for the sample. Now I'm just going to play a little bit around with the pitch and then we can get on with the drums. So let's just test out the sample if we pitch it down by maybe 1 semitone. Maybe down by 3 actually. No, I think I just actually like it how it is. It reminds me of the real song actually. Yes, I think I'm actually just going to use the same pitch. I think it sounds pretty nice, so let's get on with the drums. As for the drums I'm using, of course, they are coming from my No Limit drum kit. I just want to thank you guys so much for the support in the kit. It's been crazy recently. So make sure if you guys want to use the same drum sounds, just go check it out. It's the first link down below. Now, I actually want to show you guys some cool tricks for the drums as well. So a cool tip that I usually do is when I'm making more emotional type of beats, I usually go for like a long lasting open hat on the first hit. Usually if you're making more trap stuff, it's nice to have like a short open hat at the first hit. But for more emotional stuff, longer open hats actually fit way better. So I'm going to drag in this fresh one to start off with. Basic clap pattern, just turning up the velocity a little bit. Now we want to have a hard but short hitting hi-hat, so I'm just using this attack one. Drag it in, of course. And for these type of hi-hats, you actually want to leave some space in between the hits. This is because we're working in such a high BPM and you don't want to have it like hitting all the time. So we're just going to leave some space in between them. It's going to sound way better. So right after this clap right here, I have a cool type of fading hi-hat that goes into this one. The way you do this is actually just by holding the right mouse button, going down to the velocity right here and just dragging it up basically up to this hi-hat. So it kind of has a cool vibe to it. Now we want to add a snare to this as well. I'm going to go for this sports snare right here. Just to add some more bounce. Now let's go in with a little bit of a softer open hat. So I'm just going to drag in this one. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Yeah, I really like that open hat. Now I actually think it's time for some drums. So since we made so much space in the guitar pattern, we actually want to use a shorter 808 because it's not going to fill out that space that the vocal already fills out. So use a shorter but harder 808. So I'm just going to be using this gear 808 from my drum kit. It hits crazy hard. Oof, I feel like if we add a kick on this, it's gonna go crazy. Oof. Yeah, the kick and the 808 definitely go crazy. They fit so nicely together. I think that's pretty much the beat right there. So I'm quickly just gonna arrange this one and then I'll show you guys the final beat. Alright, so this right here is pretty much the full beat. Now I just did a cool love filter effect on the intro and some of the bridge, but besides that, the beat is actually super simple. So we just had the love filter, the guitar and the vocal in the intro.
Shut up, Marko.
Then it drops. We bring back the reverse sound. Then we have the vocal again. Then it slows down to the verse. 808 is back. Cool little cutout right here. Pretty much the hook again. Then we just have the drop. This one is a bit late though.